So, but it's good. I mean, good experience. We gave a good action.
And just shows you that he is a great fighter. But I'm going into this camp,
I think Mario is gonna go out there and just put a beating on Manny. I think Manny's a little too old, but I mean, he's a legend. He really did what he did, so I really don't see a reason for him to come back. But
At their first press conference, Mario Barrios and Manny Pacquiao got into a heated argument when the latter was questioned about how much younger he was. With a simple laugh, Pacquiao said, "Don't worry about it." His composed yet assured reply demonstrated the veteran's unwavering faith in his skills, laying the groundwork for an intense confrontation.
Are you excited to step into the ring again?
Yes.
What do you think of Barrios? He's a big, strong, he's young, he's 30. You have 16 years on him, Manny.
Don't worry about it.
Mario Barrios is full of quiet confidence going into this crucial fight. During interviews with the media, the young fighter expressed his complete faith in his own abilities, as well as his team's plan. They have researched Pacquiao's style, strengths and tendencies, Barrios stressed, and they are not going into this fight naively. The strategy is laser-focused and tailored to capitalize on what he perceives to be a generational divide. His poised demeanor indicates that he views this fight as a chance to practice what he has been taught for, rather than as an uphill battle.
You see the Manny Pacquiao fight. What can you learn from that fight?
It showed that combination punchers. That's how Pacquiao was landing. His punches, combinations, and it just shows you that he is a great fighter. But I'm going into this camp, into this fight confident, everything right with our game plan, and I'm going to try to execute it as best as.
Manny Pacquiao's training regimen mirrors the intensity of his prime. Even at 46, his movements remain sharp, combinations crisp, and footwork deliberate. Observers note a heightened focus, not just on fitness, but on the finer details of his craft. There's a clear sense of urgency in his camp, not born from desperation.
Roger Fernandez. Si Roger Fernandez.
But from a deep determination to prove this comeback is genuine. The Filipino legend, long admired for his discipline, seems locked into a focused mindset that tunes out external noise. Contrary to the belief that Pacquiao had fully retired, it's been revealed he stayed active behind the scenes. He quietly took part in unsanctioned or low-profile exhibition bouts, maintaining his timing and reflexes. Though these matches didn't make headlines, they were essential in preserving his edge. Pacquiao's choice to keep training post-retirement underscores his enduring love for the sport. He isn't returning to the ring unprepared. He's been quietly refining his skills all along. This comeback isn't about reliving the past. It's about showing he still belongs at a high level.
A lot of people say, well, he's been inactive, he's older. Man, but he throw punches. He has a lot of experience. And his last fight was an exhibition, which still was a fight and still kept him sharp, punching, doing something. So it ain't like he just ain't been in the ring, ain't did nothing. Yeah, he been working. It's like them underground boxing matches are real fights. And it keep you off bold. Emmanuel Stewart used to do a lot of exhibitions for his guys, or his guys to get them sharp, to get them prepared for a fight. If they hadn't fought in a minute, just to have them fight sharp. What up, Keith? Yeah, just to have them fight sharp. So if they got in the ring and they hadn't fought in a minute, it won't seem like it. It'd be like it seem like they just recently fought.
Jesse Bam Rodriguez, a boxer, was blunt in his assessment of the Pacquiao-Barrios bout. Despite acknowledging Pacquiao's legendary reputation, Rodriguez firmly believed in youth. He says the 46-year-old will be overwhelmed by Barrios's youthful vigor and physical freshness. The dangers of coming out of retirement to take on an active, hungry opponent were highlighted by legend Rodriguez, who even went so far as to predict a thrashing. Rodriguez believes that while experience is important, it just cannot compensate for Barrios's physical advantages, which include stamina, speed, and recovery time.
I think Mario is gonna go out there and just put a beating on Manny. I think Manny's a little too old, but I mean, he's a legend. He already did what he did, so I really don't see a reason for him to come back. But if he wants to get in the ring with Mario, then I guess Mario has to show him that youth. He has a youth, and Manny Pacquiao should have just stayed retired.
Yeah. I mean, that's what a lot of fans are saying, and are still kind of disbelief. But even looking at social media and the fans, they're thrilled just to see him back. So just to have him in the ring, and fighters at that age are not competing.
I think that just says a lot about the type of fighter Manny Pacquiao is, the stardom he has. I mean, he's what, 46, 47?
He's 46.
And people are still excited to see him fight. So, I mean, that just says a lot about him and what he's done in his career. So, like I said earlier, to see a friend I grew up with fight Manny Pacquiao is just going to be pretty cool. And it's the same night. So, it's a huge night for San Antonio boxing.
While many view Barrios' youth and stature as obvious advantages, veteran analyst Teddy Atlas offered a new viewpoint by emphasizing Barrios' weight class crossover. According to Atlas, these characteristics could be deceptive. He clarified that before advancing to welterweight, Barrios competed in smaller weight classes. According to Atlas, this undermines the argument that Barrios has a real size advantage over Pacquiao. Rather, the analyst said the bout is more evenly matched than it seemed.
Not naturally as big a man as those other welterweights. So start there. That's a fair point. He moved up in weight, Barrios. So he's not a naturally big, natural welterweight. And of course, we understand Pacquiao has moved up. My God, I don't even know when he first turned pro. You would have thought maybe he could have been a jockey.
Yeah,
I mean he was
108
that
pounds.
Round. You could move around. Navigate a little bit. Say this, say that. But there comes to a certain point with everything that no matter how much you move the furniture around, you still know what room you're in. You still know what room. You can't fool yourself. And he's in a room where he's 46 years old with 72 fights. I rest my case, counselor.
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao was praised by longtime trainer Justin Fortune, who likened him to Michael Jordan. Fortune stressed that the parallel was about sustaining excellence over time, not just greatness. That despite his advanced age, Pacquiao hasn't let himself get rusty or complacent. His training routines and dedication have maintained him in fighting form and exhibit a mental acuity that is unusual even among active champions.
His age, yeah, I mean, but it's not, listen, he's 45, 46. You live in jail? 45, 46, but he's not. He's always active. So he's always staying active. He's always doing something, mostly playing basketball, some sort of sport, some cardio. So, no.
When Nate Diaz beat Conor McGregor, he said, "I'm not surprised." So Manny could say that after he beats Barrios, that he wasn't surprised that he's supposed to win?
Well, what they... DSP, I mean, different DS,
He's already as fast as he's been all the years. He hasn't lost a beat?
No. Even if he did lose a beat, he's still faster than anyone else out there. But, you just have to set a schedule because he's not 25 anymore. So, yeah.
But what does it mean to boxing that he's back? What does it mean? Like, you can feel the festive energy.
Of course, because he's an icon. He's an icon. He's Pacquiao. He's the Jordan of boxing. Simple as that.
No, he has more championships than Jordan. He has 8.
No, you know, I mean, he's
I know, he's an
that
iconic figure. Yeah, he is.
And boxing,
Yeah. No, it's true. The sport is hurting. There's nobody like Manny. Well, you're very popular these days.
Mario Barrios views this bout as the apex of his boxing career rather than merely a stepping stone. It is a moment of pride, pressure, and great opportunity to take on a legend like Manny Pacquiao. Although Barrios has publicly acknowledged his respect for Pacquiao's legacy, he has also stated that his performance would not be impacted. By this regard, Barrios is here to win, regardless of respect. This is a statement, not only a pay raise or a publicity battle.
One time I interviewed your sister, and she told me when you were kids, she would do the best in sparring. She would get the best of you.
Oh yeah. No, easily.
When did that change, Mario? When did that change?
He wasn't the only guy she got the best of in San Antonio. She got the best out of everybody, man. Shit.
No, yeah, my sister's a beast, man. Like she couldn't spar other females a lot of times because they
unfair.
Yeah.
Mismatch.
She was like overwhelming, man. She was just naturally, strong. And so yeah, most of the time the smart partners they were dudes. But I couldn't really even like spar with her serious until I was like 17 or 18.
Wow.
We have Sean Gibbons here, Manny Pacquiao's right-hand man, advisor, head of MP Promotions. Sean, I know you spent a lot of time with Manny Pacquiao over recent weeks and months. There's a lot of conversations about Manny's comeback. What is the latest that you could offer and the update around the potential matchup with Mario Barrios?
Well, the latest is Manny's fighting an exhibition on 28th in Japan. So, you don't want to really look past that. But if he's successful there, Mario Barrios. We've talked about Conor Ben, which I believe was a great fight. That would have been a tremendous fight. We could have done it in England. We could have done it in the U.S. We could have done it in Riyadh season. But the fact that he wasn't able to come off the suspension, that put the brakes on that. So that brought us to Mario Barrios. He's the WBC world champion. Manny's first belt ever, many years ago, was a WBC belt. So
Hatton's response to Pacquiao's return was a mixture of skepticism and respect. The former champion questioned the rationale behind a championship while acknowledging the drama and unpredictable nature of boxing. Battle following such a lengthy hiatus, Hatton emphasized how boxing is evolving in the modern era and hinted that Pacquiao's comeback would not be the idyllic comeback that fans had hoped for.
Mario Barrios for the WBC title a number of years out of the ring. What do you make of it?
Well, one, I hope he doesn't get hurt. I think there's every chance he could do. Secondly, I think how has he got to a world title shot? 5th in the world, imagine if he was number 1 and 2 in the division and trained all your life to get there, and then Manny comes in after being retired 5 years or whatever it is, and goes into number 5 in the division. Boxing these.
Carl Frampton's assessment of the event was direct and uncompromising. He called the bout a farce and voiced grave concerns about Pacquiao's intentions. Frampton proposed that monetary rewards might be at play, overriding the athletic integrity of he was worried not only about the sport but also about Pacquiao's health. He contended that Pacquiao is more prone to injury at 46 and that it might be unwise to enter a world title battle with such big stakes.
Really, there's the thought. It's an absolute joke. I love Manny Pacquiao. Love everything about him. An all-time great in terms of what he's done previous, but that doesn't entitle you to just walk back in after 6 years and get a number 4 ranking with the WBC and fight for a world title. What about all the other guys that are waiting around? It's wrong. We seen Manny Pacquiao fight an exhibition against a kickboxer in his last fight, and kickboxers can't box, right? I've seen world champion kickboxers coming and sparring boxers. They can't box. They can kick, but they can't, and they can kick and box a little bit. They can't really box, and Manny didn't look great. I mean, yep, I don't know. The WBC, I think we have a lot of time for him, Richie O'Sullivan, but I think it's a mistake, really do, and they should be quite embarrassed.
A balanced viewpoint was provided by trainer Robert Garcia, who expressed concern about the toll that aging imposes on great athletes while also lauding Pacquiao's accomplishments. Garcia warned that physical decline is inevitable, but he agreed that Pacquiao's name belongs among the greatest.
Bueno, Pacquiao's a big name, and obviously Barrios a great fight for Barrios because he's a champion, and I think Pacquiao, being that they both have connections with PBC, that's the easiest fight to make. So, getting another title opportunity, just the name obviously, but I really believe that Pacquiao shouldn't be fighting. I think it's actually going to be a little, I don't want to say sad because he's going to make a lot of money, so we can't feel sorry for him. But at 46, almost 47, it's almost impossible for I'm just 4 years older, 3-4 years older than him, and it's not easy to try to think you're gonna get in shape and be able to perform like the way you were when you were in 20s and 30s.
You think it's impossible for him to beat Mario Barrios right now?
Well, it's not impossible because he has power. He he should have that power. So I don't see that happening, but is it possible? Anything's possible. George Foreman did it. There's been others that do it. But I really don't see it happening.
But Pacquiao's speed's the name of his game. Do you think he doesn't have that? There's no way he doesn't have the same speed as before.
There's no way, bro. You guys, I don't know if you guys seen his last performance.
The exhibition where against that big guy.
It was actually embarrassing to see that shit. So it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good. You know what I mean?
If Pacquiao wins, what does that do for him? Where does that put him all time?
Hell, come on, at that age, after like a few years, I don't know how many years he's been off, that'd be impressive. It's hard to think it's gonna happen, but that shit would be nice, man. It would be nice. Very few have done it, and he's actually one that could do it.
Pacquiao, he's probably top 5 all time, one of the greatest fighters.
Opinions on the Pacquiao-Barrios bout are split. Some people think Pacquiao can defeat a younger, less experienced opponent because of his extensive experience, fight IQ, and veteran toughness. Others take a more critical stance, drawing comparisons to contemporary spectacle fights that put entertainment over athletic excellence.
Yes.
You got Manny winning?
No. Against Barrios?
Yeah.
No, I think every great fighter got one great fight left in him. That had to be Thurman. And Manny, I think Manny seems to want to... Manny appears to be like how Bernard and Roy were. Like, he's really one of those great old school fighters where he's got to go out on his shield.
Yeah.
Going out on your shield used to not mean just in any given fight. It used to mean that's how they went out, period, fighters. And Manny's like that.
I do not want to see...
hard to see Manny Pacquiao losing to Mario Barrios because of who they are. But who they are now,
Sean, I do not want to see like Manny on the knee, mouthpiece out. That's going to hurt me.
Kevin McBride, Mike
Tyson.
That's
going to hurt me.
Tyson and Jake Paul have been compared, and some are concerned that the fight may not be truly competitive. Although the battle is contentious, it is nonetheless captivating due to Pacquiao's mystique and the stakes involved.
46 years old, the Filipino legend is taking on WBC welterweight champ Mario Barrios this July. But here's the kicker. Pacquiao's first world title was as a flyweight, and now he wants to retire as the WBC welterweight champ. Talk about a career comeback, but can the Pac-Man turn back time? He hasn't been in top form lately, while Barrios is coming off a tough draw. Will Pacquiao's experience triumph over youth, or is this one fight too far? Either way, July is shaping up to be an explosive month for boxing. Pacquiao's rolling the dice one last time. Will he make history as the oldest welterweight champ ever? Get ready for a showdown that'll have you on the...
They presented us, with this opportunity, and he said, you know what, I'll bite down for it one more time. And then from there, obviously we had a tough loss, but it was a competitive fight. And his first fight at 147 pounds, he goes on and takes on Keith Thurman. No tune-ups, no getting used to the thing. Goes at that point is about as good as you can get in the division and took on that. So he takes on all comers, all challenges. His first world title against Petirov, the Russian, is about as tough as you could have done at the time. And so I think he's earned the right now to be in the biggest, best possible fights. And now it's going to be up to Al Heyman and Louis DeCubas Jr. on what they see is best and fit for his career, whether that's, Pacquiao, Spence, if that's a unification with Boots Ennis.